guys, you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yes, so today we're going to be talking about our divine relocation into Ibadan.
The most interesting part of my journey as an entrepreneur has always been that God is at the center of it all, and He leads and guides every of my move in this business. My name is Oluwakemi Ojerinde, and I am the CEO of the Kiki Concept brand. Under Kiki Concept, we have two different business arms. We have Kiki Concept Events and Bridals, which was registered in 2015 as a wedding planning company. We are also a wedding vendor who take care of planning of people's wedding for clients who want to have a happy beginning. We also handle the provision of attire and accessories for our clients' wedding. We have served quite a number of clients in Kiki Concept Events and Bridals. I can proudly say that we must have served over 1,000 clients, and a lot of our clients have wonderful and satisfactory testimonials about our services. In 2022, we started up another arm of business, and it was registered in 2023 under CAC as a limited liability company, Kiki Concept Realtors Limited. And our services are for clients who want to purchase real estate as an investment or as a means of providing shelter and housing for their family.
You have employment,
Yes.
something that gives you steady payment.
That's
So
true.
instead of living only life of merriment and enjoyment, buying expensive shoes and garments at the expense of investment, when you still live in a rented apartment, don't forget that after retirement, you will give yourself judgment and say, what is my achievement?
You may have heard me share the story about how COVID in 2020 affected the Kiki Concept brand. However, that is not what we are here for. In 2022, I started looking out for a bigger space for our business because, there's a point you get to in life where you become dissatisfied about some things. So I got to that point. I became really dissatisfied. I wanted more. I knew that there was a whole lot more. There were so many things I needed to launch into, and I really did not know how to put my foot on them. So in 2022, I started looking out for a bigger space because I felt like that was the more God was telling me to go into. I must have been to check at least 6 or 7 different office spaces in Ikeja. Mind you, as at that time, our operational office, that is the physical office, was at Ikeja, and Ikowoshi Ikeja to be precise. So I had agents who had taken me around to different spaces. However, there was always one problem or the other. It was either the space wasn't big enough or the budget was beyond my capacity. At that time, coincidentally, I just finished, or I was still in process. I was still in process of a business school I had registered for, Covenant Capital Business School, and we were still, we're towards the end or the finishing of our business school certification. Of course, someone may ask me, how do I know that all of this is God leading me? So I'm going to take it a little backwards towards when I was a teenager. When I was a teenager, I always built houses in my head. I would set up houses, set up buildings, set up structures and homes in my little head. And in fact, I can't count the number of houses I built in my head. So when I was growing, I thought I was going to be an interior designer because I really did not know what aspect of life or what field that vision was going to fall under. At some point I felt maybe I was going to be an architect. At some point I thought maybe it was an interior designer. So I started trying my best to work myself into becoming an interior designer. Along the line, during my IT days when I was in the university, I pleaded with my father to help me get, an opportunity to be attached to a paint industry, because I thought I was going to be an interior designer. So I needed to learn a little about colors and textiles and so many other things like that. I also enrolled under a fashion brand where I learned how to sew, because I wanted to have a knowledge of how to sew little things like drapes, bedspreads, and all of that. That was just me playing around a vision I had in my head, which I didn't know how to put it all together.
And now listen, for you to ever succeed in business, you need technical skills and business skills.
Coming back to the present, or coming back to 2022, my family and I decided to live the hustling life of Lagos by divine intervention. Of course, it was a divine intervention, because not in my wildest dream would I have thought that I would live in the city of Ibadan. I am a Lagos born and bred. I've always wanted to be in Lagos, and suddenly, my husband came up with the idea that, he believes that God wants us to move to Ibadan. Mind you, we did not really have any experience with Ibadan. In fact, we had people who discouraged us for moving into Ibadan. And as at that time, like I said, I was looking for a bigger space or something more for my business. So when he brought up the topic of relocating into Ibadan, I went to God to pray, and I told him I needed to be sure that this was him. And of course, that brings me to this. As an entrepreneur, especially a Christian entrepreneur, always ensure that no matter the move, no matter the business transaction, you inquire from God first. Because whether you like it or not, the hustling and buzzing of life is not an assurance of you making it in life. The only thing that will play a key factor role in you succeeding in life is for you to not just work hard, not just work smart, but to have an ally supporting every of your move. Why? Because we have millions of competitors out there who do it as good as you do, who will do it even better than you. But without the help of God, without the help of an ally, you might just be beating about the bush and not achieve your purpose. So, back to me now. After I inquired from God, I knew that this was the move for my business and for my family.